museum and factory just outside Modena. What you see behind me, let me move a little bit, is the Zonda R. Let me tell you a few things about Horacio Pagani. You know, in my mind there are supercars and hypercars, and when you talk about supercars you talk about the Ferraris and the Porsches and the Lamborghinis and McLarens, and when you start talking about hypercars you talk about Pagani, and you talk about La Ferrari, you talk about McLaren P1. But in my mind, Pagani, it's quite special. It's almost like a piece of art. The way Pagani thought about cars, it didn't thought about like a mechanical thing they can take and drive. It was more than that. It was the art of designing the shapes, interior, the details. And I think if you think about Pagani, and you say Pagani, you think about the details that stays under the hood, on the dash. Every bolt is important, and it was important in Horacio's mind. So here we have the start of his history, where we see small motorcycles that he built in Argentina, him being an Argentinian, and the Formula 2 car that was built in 1979, and the history goes on and on with all the Paganis that are the Zondas and the Huayra and the Huayra BC, several variations of Zondas. But I want to touch on a point about Pagani. Pagani, when he was working for Lamborghini, he was contributing to Lamborghini Countach. He asked Lamborghini to buy a small factory that was specialized in doing carbon fiber. Lamborghini said, no, we don't want to do that because Ferrari doesn't do it and Alfa Romeo doesn't do it, so why should we? So Horacio left Lamborghini and bought that little factory because he was absolutely convinced that carbon fiber, it is the future for building lightweight cars and sports cars. And guess what? After he started building his own cars here outside Modena, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and everybody else now start using carbon fiber in the development of the chassis of their cars. Isn't that quite interesting? It's a small image here as you enter the museum, which is the face of Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, Pagani thought about Leonardo da Vinci and how Leonardo da Vinci was interested in mechanics and how things work. And I think he had the same drive as Leonardo, and I do see Pagani as a Leonardo da Vinci of the automotive industry. The first car you see when you enter the Pagani museum is the Zonda La Nona, which is right here behind me. It is a special car because this car was used for all the development of all the other Zondas. And if you look close to this vehicle, you will see elements incorporated from other Zondas. As we look closer here, we see the tricolore on the front bonnet, and that's coming from the tricolore Zonda. We see the scoop on the top of the vehicle, and that's from Pagani R, which is not a street legal vehicle, but it's absolutely impressive. And what's impressive about this car, it has more than 500,000 kilometers done. It's absolutely spotless, and I don't know how they managed to keep it in such a shape, but it is impressive. When you think about the car like this, it has more than 500,000 kilometers on it. It is a piece of art. So let's move on and let's go to Zonda S, and it's here in blue Francia, which became the corporate trademark color for Pagani, as we see it in the blue rims design. It's the only Pagani that has a color on the rims, or the other ones they have like unicolor, but this one, it is special. This was designed for an Arab prince customer, with the chairs designed based on his recommendations. Very interesting to see here in the Zonda. All the others one have the same. This is the trunk. This is actually where you open the back side of the car that exposes the engine, and inside there you will see the trunk that you can open. There is another one on the other side where you put your luggage. Very, very beautiful. Another special Pagani, mind you, they're all special, is the Zonda F. The Zonda F, it seems to have had all the components several times revised to save approximately 50 kilos from the Zonda. You can see the aerodynamic diffuser in the back, and the reason for that was because Horatio wanted to beat the time in Nuremberg, a Nordschleife circuit in Germany, and they call it Zonda F because of Pagani's admiration for Juan Manuel Fangio, which was Argentinian race driver, which Pagani very much admired. He couldn't use the full name of Fangio, but for that reason he called it Zonda F in the memory of Fangio. Look at the interior of the vehicle. All of the Paganis are just pieces of art, the way they're designed. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You can see the fiber carbon tub that Pagani invented and made it as a... Another beautiful car is the first roadster for the Zonda and Pagani. This is a Singapore orange, absolutely beautiful, beautiful color. I don't know if the camera catches it, but the depth of this color, it is amazing. How it shines and sparkles in the light. Yeah, look at the sparkles of this color. Yeah, in order to maintain the rigidity of the chassis, Horatio used a special resin in the fabric of the carbon fiber. That gave the chassis the rigidity necessary to take the hood off the car and create the roadster. What's interesting also about this roadster is the first supercar that has a right-hand drive steering wheel. It's the first supercar, and after Horatio built the Zonda F Roadster, the Ferrari and Lamborghini start building right-hand driving vehicles. Another interesting technical aspect of the vehicle is that you can buy the car on the right-hand drive, and then you can bring it back and can be converted for the left-hand drive steering wheel. Let's go to Roadster Cinque. The Zonda Cinque, it's a very, very special car. This car was designed having the aerodynamic thought and getting performance. Like, look at the louvers on the front fender and the openings on the front fender to have the air escaping from the wheels to give more stability to the car at high speeds. And also we see here the introduction of the those vents on the rear fender for brake cooling. Another interesting aspect is the intake for the engine. This car value originally was around 2 million pounds. It seems that somebody offered for this vehicle, this is five convertibles, offered $8 million, and Horatio didn't agree to sell this beautiful vehicle, and now sits here in the museum. We continue with Zonda R. It's beautiful. This is a racing car. It's not street legal. It was designed to race and actually holds a Nürburgring lap record that was taken in 6 minutes and 47 seconds in 2010. I love the way it has matte carbon fiber coupled with gloss carbon fiber on the front splitter here. Look at the size of this splitter. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. What's interesting about those supercars is the amount of detail goes behind the shell of the vehicle. Like looking at the quad, the exhaust titanium, and the coating that's on the exhaust system, the heating coating that's on the exhaust system. Of course, those are the big engines, V12 Mercedes. They're all provided, all the engines are provided by Mercedes-AMG, and those are between 6 and 7.3 liter engine, depending on the variation of each vehicle. And in terms of power, somewhere between 650 up to 780 horsepower, those vehicles. Talking about detail, look at the well hub that directs the air to cool the brakes. They're all carbon fiber. Absolutely spectacular. And look at the size of this diffuser. It is amazing. It is amazing. This is the face of the Zonda Cinque that we passed by. The details in carbon fiber, exposed carbon fiber and painted carbon fiber, it's amazing. And look at the tricolore on the rear view mirror that's fixed on the front fender. Absolutely piece of art. After those beautiful Zondas, Horatio decided to build a new car, and that was the Huayra. In Horatio's mind was to build something that significates the aerodynamic of the wind. And here we have a first model that was used, it's a clay model, that was used by Horatio, and those are Horatio's own signs and scribbles, notes regarding modifications for the Huayra. Those are other wood and clay models that Horatio used for the development. And we can see here the progression in the Huayra. Here we see there's the active aerodynamics in the front of the vehicle. Is the first one that has those active aerodynamics, and the next iteration, now we see the scoops that go under. It is absolutely amazing to see the history and the development that took place to develop this beautiful car, which is Pagani Huayra. And this is the Huayra. It's absolutely amazing. Look at the details that came in the backlights, the tail lights, with carbon fiber behind it, carbon ceramic brakes, and look at the interior. If this is not a piece of art, then I don't know what it is. The gear shift lever, look at the exposed mechanism. It's absolutely amazing, the beauty of this car. Another interesting element in the development of Huayra was the use of titanium in the carbon fiber tub. And you can see it like right here. You see the wave? It has kind of like a silver sparkle in it, and you can see the difference with full carbon fiber. It's absolutely beautiful. And we can see here in the front the active aerodynamic elements, how they work. One flap is open, where the other one is closed on the other side. It's absolutely beautiful. There are other two elements of aerodynamic in the back. You see the flaps. There is one here and one on the other side. All the aerodynamic, active aerodynamic elements are managed by the computer to increase the stability of the vehicle. It is absolutely beautiful. There are three vehicles in the Huayra series. First was Huayra, which is behind me. This is one of the prototypes of Huayra. But then it was the Huayra BC, which was named in the memory of a good friend of Horatio, Benny Caiola, which was actually the first customer for Pagani. He was the first guy to buy a Pagani vehicle, and the Huayra BC Roadster. Yeah, what impressive. I feel very emotional visiting this place. I love automotive technology and sports vehicles, and I'm always fascinated by the technology that goes and the ethos that each constructor tries to impose on those vehicles, and Pagani is a special one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a special day. If you guys want to visit Italy and have the time to come here outside Modena, I would highly recommend to come and see Pagani. Thanks. Bye for now.
2, 3.